Hi, how are you? We're delighted to have you back here in our kitchen. Not quite as a little bit darker, it's a little bit different time of the year, so we're looking at a few different things that we foraged.
Yeah. So yeah,
And it's
welcome.
Eve.
So as Miriam has said, we are going to present to you today two delicious recipes. One is the wild garlic pesto and the gorse
Ice cream,
flour ice cream.
gorse flour ice
Yeah.
cream, yeah.
So I think we're going to start with the gorse flour ice cream, and yeah,
So
we did some foraging
earlier, yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look at the gorse here. This is
Yeah.
the gorse. They're the flowers. I mean, I think gorse grows everywhere. It probably grows in Italy as well. So we're going to put it into our saucepan.
And another name for gorse is furze and broom.
Is
So,
it?
yeah, and it does grow all over. It grows in Canada as well and all
Yeah.
over the world.
Never out of season.
No,
Someone said, yeah, was it kissing and gorse are never out of season.
that's really good to know. And it was used as a very important fod crop in Ireland.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. People would grind it up. I was talking to my dad about that because he was a farmer, and farmers, would take it from the hill and they'd grind it and they'd feed it to their animals.
It's very high in protein, isn't it?
Very high in protein. Yeah. But we're not actually eating we're just having the flowers. We're a little bit special, aren't we? We're not gonna deal with that prickly, spiky
not
plant.
prickly
We
stuff.
want the fancy flower.
Yeah.
Because we're going for the fancy fodder.
Yeah.
So we put that in and then we cover it with water. So it's just some water here.
Cold water?
Cold water, yeah. And in it goes. Okay, so it's just to cover it. We'll just mix it up there a little bit. And it's basically like making a tea. You're making a tea with the gorse. So maybe while that is cooking, do we want to take a look at our lovely adventure in collecting it?
Yeah.
So we were out earlier in the woods and we were collecting all of this lovely gorse. So, and we recorded that if we want to take a look at that.
Yeah.
I know that's a bit much. So this is our gorse, and it's just you can collect the other stuff and powder it up, and it's partly full of protein.
Tips?
But it's just the flower tips.
Okay.
And they, as we were saying earlier,
But I think that, do some animals eat it here?
I think they will.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen animals go up to gorse and have a go at it, but I think it might have to be. I feel like it might be horses or something because
Yeah.
they've got a stronger.
Oh yeah, we have a little honeybee there. That's lovely. So we're going to move to another gorse bush, so to give this one a chance, so we don't kind of just fleece the whole tree of its fruit and flowers. So to share out the load,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. So there's one up here. Will we go and have a
We
look?
did, yeah. We saw
great.
one up here on the
Okay.
top. How would you describe it? I mean, people saying it's a little bit like kind of almond, but like bitter almond. And coconut.
Not in my hand here.
No,
Not
look at
just
all
on
of
the
that.
surface.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should give us
Beautiful.
enough. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
So Eve wins the gorse gathering competition.
You're just saying that because you want me to come back and do
I'm
more.
just being nice. I'm just trying to. I have to do something for the free labour. They didn't pick with any discernment. They just
Whatever.
Yeah.
So there's some garlic there.
Yeah, so it's just great. It's
Yeah.
under the trees in the
Yeah.
woods. This is a good spot for it. And
Here?
here's good, yeah, 'cause it's not mixed up too much with anything else.
Okay.
But ivy is poisonous actually, so we do
Yeah.
have to avoid that
Yeah,
darker
there's some
green
nettles
one.
there. So
You could put them into a salad.
yeah.
You could put them into a soup. I've
Yeah.
seen people do wild garlic soup.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could put them into any dish. Like if you think about
Yeah.
garlic and onions, you use them in almost everything, don't you?
Yeah. Also, we don't want to be treading on things too heavily either.
Hear that they're so abundant and they just
Yeah.
spread like wild. Literally, that's their garlic.
Well, I
picking
want to win the
competition too.
garlic. Yeah. How reluctantly I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I see that. You were like, but I'm the best picker. I can't let go of that title. Flowers and stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to get them to take off a little bit.
Let's see.
There we go. Look at that for a
Ooh,
hole.
very
What a
nice.
great hole of wild garlic.
Lovely.
Gonna make a hole. Oh, it looks lovely down
Yeah, the blue back.
the camera. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
We'll be on the shopping channel next.
We will. We will. It is a bit like that.
And we turned it
on
on
the white as well.
Oh yeah.
Turn in, yeah, look at, oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that's nice. It's like, it's very garlicky.
Oh, let's hear of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Try a little
to
bit.
share.
Like, it's strong. It's, you know, it's like eating garlic, isn't it? It's not quite as strong as garlic.
Fabulous.
But, you know, because some of the forage
Maybe we
things.
should run back and get some more.
Trying to grab it. So that was us out foraging. Good times.
Yeah, nice day.
Lovely day for it. So now at the moment we have the gorse is just, it's like a tea, it's like a gorse tea, so gorse flower tea. So that's just going to brew away for another few minutes.
So it's
not, yeah, it's very nice,
very
isn't it?
organic, it's very kind of green. What's the
Restorative. You feel like it would do the world a good.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It does very clean. It actually smells a bit like tea. It smells
Well,
like
it
Indian
is.
tea.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tea.
Yeah,
You know, you could drink it as a tea if that was the way you were inclined. But we're going to go fancy and make it an ice cream. But we'll come back to that.
Okay.
But
So
anyway, we're going to just do a little bit of a side salad with a few other forage bits. Again, you know, March, wet day, a little bit hard to do too much foraging. But this is my foraging from today. So this is just 3-corner leek.
Yeah.
So it's quite related. It's run away on me. So it's quite related to the wild garlic, but you can see it's kind of longer and a bit skinnier.
And isn't it called? It's a 3-cornered leek because of the shape, isn't it? It's like 3 corners.
Yeah, it does look like 3 corners, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's how you recognise it. And it's quite firm, isn't it?
Smell too like it. Yeah, I mean,
it definitely smells like leeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
It does look. You have to be small but careful because it does look a little bit like lily of the valley when it has its flowers, and that's very poisonous.
Yeah,
so stay away from that. Be careful with that. But it's lovely, and I mean the smell alone kind of would tell you. These are dandelion leaves.
Yeah, they grow everywhere.
They grow everywhere. Surely they grow in Italy. That's them again. And if you get them now, while they're kind of young and fresh, they're actually quite tasty. They can be a little bit bitter. You know, the older and longer they've been around.
And you know, when you're out foraging, you make lots of nice friends and meet lots of nice people. And I had a great time with you.
We did. Oh, that's beautiful.
I brought you flowers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, I didn't.
I picked them myself.
Yeah, because she's
it's
going
kind
to
of relationship we have. I have to pick my own flowers. Give them to her to
and
give
then
to
she
me.
just eats them anyway.
What
are they?
I know.
What
so
are
these are So primrose.
Are they?
Prima rosa. Appreciated. The Italians might appreciate that. So it's the first rose that you're going to see in spring. So that comes out, and that is also edible. It was a big fashion in the Victorian times to put flowers into salads. So that's where we're going back to that.
And this one now, I know. Yeah, what's that?
Strawberry.
Oh.
The strawberry leaf. Some people make tea out of that. Have you ever seen strawberry leaf tea?
Yeah.
Or there's like raspberry leaf tea. All of those things. Raspberry leaf tea is supposed to bring on contractions if you're pregnant. I'm always telling you to drink that. Not too soon, but just when you want the contractions.
And your salads are just really beautiful. Look
Isn't that so pretty? Yeah. So this is wild currant. And unfortunately, being a wild currant, it doesn't actually ever produce a currant, but it does produce beautiful edible flowers. So that's why I don't mind picking the flowers, because I don't think I'm taking away my potential currants. No. Because those potential currants never turn up.
And while the camera was off me, I just ate one of those flowers, and it actually tastes like fruit. It tastes like fruit.
Fruity.
Yeah,
they're nice.
It really does. It's amazing.
Yeah. So there, she's going to stop eating them. It's bad enough that she doesn't pick me flowers. You know, she eats my flowers that I've picked.
So these are going to be the salad.
So these are going to be part of the salad. Yeah. So that accompany
pesto.
Yeah. So we're going to do wild garlic pesto. Might do maybe with a little bit of pasta. We'll see. I'm afraid to cook pasta for Italians because, you know, they're very particular about how we cook our pasta. But we'll hopefully ask for forgiveness before we start. But they're also going to go with sprouts. So we have sprouts here as well.
And you grew these, didn't you?
I grew these, yeah. So these are really nice. They're so healthy. And it's just a really great way to have fresh green. It's like microgreens. Some people talk about microgreens. And you can just soak them in water. So this is where they are here. This is what they were originally like. So you see them, you see mung beans. They're like the mung sprouts, but they come as tiny, tiny little beans like that initially. And little tiny beans. They're slightly darker before they get all soaked and sprouted. And then you put them in water.
How long are they in there?
I used to just leave them overnight, and then I'd find the odd surprise sprout. And my husband will tell you he's never happy with that because they would break your teeth.
Oh yeah.
And your will to ever eat sprout salad again. So what I do now is I soak them for 2 days, and then that gives me a solid
Okay. So
chance of no dodgy rice sprouts.
So these ones are 2-day mung bean sprouts.
So they're growing. So
Yes.
after you soak, this is probably soaked for 2 days now.
Oh yes, okay.
Then I would drain that into something like this, into exactly this.
Yeah.
And then I leave it over here by the sink.
Yeah.
Because that reminds me, every time I go to wash stuff, I give them a quick rinse.
Yes.
They're not super fussy. You don't have to, rinse them at any particular time. But if you just, when you go to do your dishes, go, oh yeah, there's my sprouts. Give them a quick rinse.
And they can go, you can leave them growing for days, can't you? They can get green.
They do get longer and longer. Yeah, now there's a limit, after a while you should just put them in the fridge and then because they do go a little bit rancid if you leave them grow for too long. But that's lovely, that's perfect now.
Yeah.
Those would be ideal. You could put them in the fridge, they'd last another 3 days.
Yeah, so we've got a fantastic salad here.
Yeah.
And there's no lettuce, there's nothing like that's been flown, there's no air miles.
No.
It's fantastic.
That is literally from my garden now,
Yeah,
actually. I
it's
just went
amazing.
out and
That's
grabbed
amazing.
some stuff from the garden. And even now, like I say, even now in March when it's a dark, dank day, not a whole pile out there.
It's just amazing.
Still managed to pull that together.
The colours are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. So
good.
that'll get mixed with the sprouts. In fact, look, we
do
may
it
as well do it now. Listen, you might as well make yourself useful there, Eve. You can put the sprouts in there to the salad. It's a lot of pressure, I know, but I feel like you can do it. I feel like you've got this.
Yeah, but I'm not doing the washing up.
No, well, that's fair enough. Nobody could expect that of you. I think it's just fair to ask you to mix a few sprouts, though. That's a reasonable kind of request.
And I'll tear up the 3-cornered leeks and leaves, and that will line
Beautiful.
pieces.
Yeah. So
and it's so nice because
nice
they're so
bit of
fresh.
texture.
Yeah, you don't have to be they're not rubbery. They're just sort of breaking.
Yeah.
So our hands are obviously very clean. Just
absolutely scrubbed and rubbed before we started.
Yeah.
And this is all just picked like 20 minutes ago, just before we came on.
They're so fresh. They're crispy.
They're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, I give you you're going to lovely get in there with your hands. I was going to say, do you want a spoon? But not at all.
No need.
No need.
Because the produce is so fresh.
And it's been raining all day.
Yeah.
So they're beautifully vibrant and washed by
gorgeous
Ireland's rain.
So there's your foraged.
And so clean and fresh and lovely. Look at that. Look at that for a salad. Isn't that beautiful? So nice. Well, look, we're going to have to assume they think it's beautiful.
There won't be any left. So
there won't be any left.
Everyone
Yeah, exactly.
Will know it was very tasty.
Absolutely.
So what's happening with the...
And so then, this is still boiling away with our tea. And then we have all of our lovely garlic that you saw in our video. We went picking for tons and tons of garlic. There we go. We got a few little bulbs. And a little bulb there. I'll just take that off. But that, got cultivated over time to become the garlic that we know now. But this is the sort of, precursor, original one, which is kind of the way of a lot of our vegetables. There would have been a little bit of gorse got snuck in there.
Yeah.
So they would have been like that. So I just gave those a good wash before we started, and I'm going to put them into the Maggi mix. And I like to use pistachios.
Yeah.
I know pine nuts.
Instead of pine nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought this was my own brilliant idea, but it turns out that Sicilians have been doing this for years. So there we go.
A lot of things came from Sicily first, I found out.
There you go.
Sicilians told me that.
Did they? They said. So that's how you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
They said, we did that before anybody was doing that. Well, I wonder, do they make it with wild garlic though? They just swap out the, probably do.
Lots of good things come from
Sicily. A lot of good things. But the great thing about these, the lovely and salty, the lovely strong flavor, because the garlic has quite a strong flavor. So if you were to use pine nuts are very delicate.
Oh, yeah.
They get a little bit lost. Also, it's a cost factor too. Everyone's quite conscious of that. Pine nuts are very expensive. And it's just lovely to have alternatives and to know that we have the approval of the Sicilians.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The fragrance, fragrance of this bowl is just stunning. And see how they're
gorgeous.
So vibrant and green,
Yeah.
aren't they? Would there be? I mean, what's in those leaves? Is there iron? Is there?
Yeah, they were considered a tonic, so they're good for your cholesterol.
Yeah.
So there's something about onions in particular that are good for your cholesterol.
So
they're
it's a
good
blood
at lowering.
cleansing?
Yeah, they're considered like a blood cleanser.
Yeah. And
So,
there's no eating bits. And these don't have any. I mean, there's no sprays or preservatives or anything. These, and you see, they're not even nibbled. There's nothing. Nothing has nibbled these. Every single leaf.
A lot of insects don't really like. It's a sort of a protecting thing of alliums. Like they give off a smell that most bugs and stuff don't like. That's their resistance.
Yeah, it's lovely.
If you will.
Doesn't work on humans.
Doesn't work. No. Really, it's very attractive to us. They made a mistake there.
Yeah. So what are we going to do with those
So,
leaves now?
okay, so we're going to...
What kind of weight of leaves would you say there is?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really know. I
But
mean,
it's like just a big...
you know, it is, that's
that
a little bit, it is like saying that, isn't it? A handful. I mean, you know, if you go out picking them, I suppose you pick as much as you can pick. There was 2 of us picking it and it was a lovely day and we were inspired by the camera and the weather and the surroundings and each other's company to just stay picking and picking and picking. So that's why we have so much.
Yeah.
Another person might have stopped after just a few.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't think they would.
I'm just saying.
Why would you stop?
Well, you know, and the great thing about it is once you turn it into pesto, it keeps for a long time because you cover it with all the oil and all the rest.
I'm really interested to see, because you know when
the
you
transformation,
do these things, they kind of get smaller every time.
Oh, it will, I mean, so what this turns, like this is like a bowl, a big bowl, but like we'll probably get something more like that by the time we're finished.
Very interesting to see.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to put it into, this is our Maggi mix, very high tech.
If you don't have one of those, could you just chop them by hand?
You could, yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Pestle and mortar, maybe chop away. You know, I'm not quite so dedicated. I don't know. I mean, maybe the Italians will tell us afterwards. We can ask them whether there are people making pesto in a very traditional way where they don't use any sort of mixer.
Yeah.
Maybe they did, because I suppose that's the way it would originally be made. But we're modern working girls, Eve, and so we're going to put it into the Maggi mix. That's how it goes for us.
Yeah, that's quite full.
Isn't it? Yeah, but you'll see now it'll come down fairly quickly. That was our little bit, we'll leave them behind because we can afford to be a little bit picky because, you know, we have so many beautiful leaves.
I'll just stand over the perfume of the gorse.
Of the gorgeous gorse.
Boiling gorse. I feel it's a bit of maybe coconut smell as well.
Yeah,
it's just fabulous.
Coconut and almond is supposed to be the 2 sort of aromas. I mean, we said that in the video anyway, it was kind of a bitter almond and coconut. But look, here we go, we're going to blend.
Noise.
Very loud. Is that okay? Hope we're not blasting everybody's ears out. So we have to knock it down a little bit. So you can see now it's almost halved after even just the first blend. Okay, and put in a little bit of oil as well. Now, I'm not the greatest for the measurements because with pesto, I feel you just put it in and then you blend it up again, because you can always add more oil at the end. That's the sort of a thing that people do. So I would just put in a small bit at the start. Look at that. That is beautiful. There we go. Alrighty. So nice. So that is, now that we're going to add a lot more to that. So that's just to get the sort of, you know, the early rough chopped, a little bit of oil and just the... And it actually, when you blend it, it releases the smell even more, doesn't it?
Just the fragrances in here in the kitchen are fabulous.
So
really
nice.
Are.
Yeah. So
and
nice.
So clean, you know, it's lovely clean smells.
Really fresh, really good. So we're going to put in the pistachios, which we had been shelling earlier.
Miriam, she asked me to help, but I didn't get around to it.
Didn't help at all. No. At all. It's the way it goes. But that's fine. And so we have this, and then we have my secret ingredient that we use every time we're cooking. If people were here last time, they'll remember it. Is our yeast flakes. Yeah. So if you could just get me a spoon there, that'd be lovely.
A big spoon or a little spoon?
A big spoon. Oh, listen.
This size?
That size, absolutely. So we're going to go for that.
Big spoon, look,
big spoon. Big spoon, little spoon. Okay, that was a little harder to open than I had anticipated, but we've got this. So big spoons of this. This is fabulous stuff. Very high in protein, very high in B vitamins. Really good for you, and just very subtle but very lovely flavor. Yeah. So you can't, you're not going to overdo it. You'd be afraid of putting too much stock or too much. No, lovely.
So one instead of salt.
2, it would be instead of Parmesan, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing, we're going for the ultra sustainable vegan pesto. So we're going with the plant-based pesto, and also very nutritious, low in fat, high in protein, high in all the B vitamins. So we're really going for the healthy, fresh, fabulous.
And it gives a bit of an umami flavour?
Absolutely. Real depth of flavour. Really fabulous. Really nice. Really like it.
Again, a substitute for the Parmesan. So it's
pretty much.
Then as well.
Yeah, and that's partly why I use the pistachios too, because they're slightly stronger, so they kind of help substitute for the Parmesan a little bit too.
That's good.
And so I put in a little bit more oil.
So people with dairy intolerances can have this?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a great one to do because, you know, a lot of people do have dairy intolerance.
Yes, they do.
And it can be very frustrating if you've made a lovely pesto because there's not much parmesan in it, but it's still, you know,
Like, if you're
somebody doesn't
allergic,
eat,
you're
they're
allergic,
allergic, they're not going to eat it. So, you know, it's a great substitute, and it's just, as I say, so healthy and delicious. So here we go, pop it on here.
Back to the Maggi mix.
Back to the Maggi mix, because we are. Okay. Now, back we come again, and I have my spoon. I'll just mix it around.
It looks exactly like, you know,
Yeah.
pesto out of a jar.
Just,
Yeah.
see, that's what I aim for, Eve, is to make my food look like it just came out of a jar.
Make it look like it came out of a
You know,
mass-produced
like a
factory, miles and miles and miles away, that's travelled for days on a truck.
That's the
with
look
lots
I'm
of
going for.
fumes and hot, you know, hot, sticky atmospheres.
So people,
That's what you're aiming for.
That's what I'm aiming for. That's what my kids would love them. Oh, it's just like the packaged food.
Yeah,
It's just
the
it's good as
mass-produced.
No, but it's thinned down, fabulous. So it's quite thick, so I could add a little bit more oil to it. And again, that's
quite a lot. I mean, I'm surprised at the
and how
quantity
much of
just
oil
those
goes
leaves.
into it.
No,
oh, the
of
leaves. Oh, you
It's
think
so
there's a lot?
generous.
Yeah, that is, I suppose. I mean, but look, it was full, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
it's definitely a reduction
But if you buy a jar of pasta and the price of it,
of pesto. Yeah, for sure.
There's what this.
So expensive. They do say it's one of the things. I mean, and this is why we're trying to do the, you know, good value too. It's why we're moving to the pistachio nuts and everything. But they do say pesto is one of the things that's cheaper to buy than to make. You know, because basil is so expensive.
Oh, basil. Yes.
Pine nuts are so expensive. But we got the garlic for free.
Yeah.
We used pistachios instead.
Yeah.
And we had a
we
big jar. We bought that in bulk, so that made it a bit better value. And then we had the olive oil. Now, this is where we can test it a little bit, because we have a few things that we can, just little condiments.
Oh, yeah.
So we have this lovely Achill Island sea salt.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's smoked. That gives more umami flavor.
Yeah.
And we have pepper. And pepper, this is my husband's favorite addition. Every time I give him something to taste, he says, just think I need a bit more pepper.
Oh, black peppercorns, lovely.
Always.
Yeah, lovely.
Everything needs a little bit more pepper. So do you want to get 2 spoons out? And this is where you
And this is when
come
we
in.
only get teaspoons. We don't
This
get
way we
giant
no, we do
spoons
not
at
get the
this
giant
stage.
spoons at this stage. So we have to be very, thank you very much. So very discerning. Do we think it needs a little more oil, a little more salt, a little more blending?
I think that's delicious as it is.
That's very nice, isn't it?
I love the green taste of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You can taste those leaves. And
You
you can
can.
still taste the warm
You can still kind of taste the now. I would,
pistachios.
look, you could blend it a small bit more, or you want to leave it. No, you like that little bit of crunch.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Add a tiny. The other thing that you can add is a tiny dash of lemon.
Yeah.
Want to give a little dash of lemon? Okay, little dash of lemon.
And
Watch
maybe
out for
people
any
in Italy
seeds
will have
popping in.
lemons of their own in their own garden.
They
that
might do.
forage from their own trees.
They could. I do remember. Well, I got married in Italy, and there was a place, and they had a lemon tree, and I just thought, a lemon tree.
Wow.
So you just don't imagine that lemons grow, because in Ireland,
So
couldn't imagine that they grow in a tree, because they look so unnatural on the tree, don't they?
I think they do. Yeah.
Yellow.
Yeah. And oranges. Hanging
And
on the trees
oranges.
in Italy.
That,
Just astounding.
and I'm sure Italians think we're mad to be talking like this, but it really is astonishing, isn't it, to see them on a tree?
Yeah.
Goes to show. Keep to the foraging, maybe. That's I'll put in tiny bit more
it's
oil,
your recipe,
just to
obviously.
cover. Yeah, so that's, I'm just going to ignore Eve's advice there and put in a little bit more oil. Anyway, so we're going to just put this out into the bowl so we can see how nice it is. Look at that.
I'll take these out of the way.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And you'll be wanting the black pepper.
Oh, absolutely.
And the sea salt.
And the sea salt.
Smoked sea salt.
Smoked sea salt from Achill. You know. Now, look at that.
Should I add some? Oh, there's
don't-
still quite a bit
There's
in
still
there.
quite a bit left.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where my spatula has gone to. I was using it
I saw
earlier on.
earlier. There it is, behind you.
Oh, it's like
It's
the best.
It's a good thing I'm here. It's
The
a good
best,
thing I'm here.
the best of the pantomimes. It's always behind you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can use our spatula to just break that down. And I love spatulas.
Do you know what? It didn't take long to make either.
No, wasn't that fast? Fabulous. Beautiful. Fresh. And you know, it makes for a lovely present. Everybody loves homemade pesto. pesto. They get so excited.
How long would that last?
If you keep it covered, I've had them in the jars for months, you know, put it into a nice sterilized jar.
Yeah.
And cover it with oil. Always keep it covered with oil. That's the big key.
Little layer of oil.
After you make it like that, you put it in the jar, you put another little layer of oil on top of it, just to make sure that keeps it really, really fresh.
Just stirring in the black pepper.
Yeah. We have to wash this.
The colour.
We need it again.
The colour is just incredible, and it's really appropriate for our St.
For
Patrick's
isn't it
Day
wonderful? Absolutely.
presentation.
Because we only eat green food in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. That's the way we roll.
Yeah. Do you want to put the salt in?
Do you want to
taste it
how
first?
about, you taste it, and how
my
about I'll let
spoon
you
ready.
do the salt, because I feel like you're ready for that kind of responsibility. And I'm going to be over here washing the Magimix.
Well, maybe a pinch of the smoked salt.
Off you go.
Okay.
You got it.
This is a huge responsibility because I could destroy this.
Look,
delicious
if it doesn't taste nice, we're going to say it's all down to the salt.
food. Yeah, yeah.
If my children don't like it,
Oh gosh, it's really tasty. Do you know what?
we'll
It's
know
really,
who to blame. Yeah, it's
you really want to keep going back for more?
isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
Isn't it really lovely? And do we dare to make pasta to go with it?
Have we any? I wonder.
Have we
is
any
there any
critical
response from
Italians?
the audience to that question? What else could we have with it?
Well, you could just have it on bread. I love it just on bread, toast. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful with some tomatoes. Absolutely gorgeous.
Maybe we should just put
So
on
nice.
some pasta and make,
Make an executive decision on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll put on some water. We'll let that boil.
And then we can get lots of complaints from the viewers to say how we did make the pasta.
How incorrectly we did the pasta.
Yeah. And the cheek of us. Oh, wait a minute, Miriam. Are you using pasta that you didn't make?
I am. I like.
That's the first mistake, isn't it?
I know, Eve, but as I said, we're working girls, so we're good. I did try to make my own pasta a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And absolute hats off to anybody who does, and maybe people could talk to us afterwards about how they make their own pasta. But it is an absolute labour of time and love. We'd have to dedicate a whole show to that, I think.
That would be good fun.
It would be good fun. It would be good fun. We'll do that another time. So anyway,
That's made. So
That's
we've done
made.
the wild garlic pesto. We've done
salad
the
is made. Beautiful salad. Okay. And
And
then
now we're going
comes
to do a
the
bit of-
exciting bit.
Yeah.
But, no waste.
So
Now-
meanwhile, while we've been doing all that, the
Yeah.
gorse has been bubbling away. Here.
Exactly.
Gorse flowers.
Gorse flowers bubbling away there. So I'm going to repurpose this bowl because we're all about that. Clean as we go.
Yeah.
I never clean as I go, Eve, but I have to do it in front of the camera.
I have a good influence on you.
You have a good influence on me. It's trying to make me a better person.
I'll just leave our tasting spoons ready.
Ready? Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, and actually, well, we can put into this because this is a nice pouring
Yeah. Okay.
spout. I'll show you why we want that now in a second.
Yeah.
So,
I'll pour it in.
sieve it. Yep, through the sieve.
Okay, I'll turn this off.
You can, yeah, if you can. It's a very, very high tech hob.
I need
You're turning
glass.
off the pasta. Oh my
Now to
God.
use the hob.
We're never gonna have to turn it. Here you go.
Okay.
There and
Off.
okay,
Okay.
off. Okay,
So,
in it
okay.
goes. We will have to turn it back on again. You can do that,
Okay.
Posh. Okay, in you go. Gorgeous. Look at that. So
Do you want the flowers in there?
no, well,
okay.
you can put the flowers into the sieve. The sieve will
Yeah,
catch
okay.
them.
Yeah,
And that just
okay.
makes sure we get all.
I'll use this for a clean spoon.
Yeah.
Actually, you should turn it around and do it this
Yeah,
way.
you can do that. And then,
It's very clean.
yeah, we're going to do one other sieve of it because there's still a few little bits that got through.
Yeah.
So we go and use this is not, that was on the outside. Okay, perfect. We're using a muslin cloth. Lovely. And that's still sieving away through there. Oh yeah, we can do the muslin cloth back into this one.
Yeah. Maybe I'll take these out.
Great.
And you could put those flowers, I suppose, out on the compost.
You could, yeah, you
because
could.
they're completely
You could.
friendly. Yeah,
Completely
there's nothing
compost
in them.
friendly. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Look at the colour. I mean,
Isn't that
it's stained
gorgeous?
the water, yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
golden.
It's.
I just realised that without,
Can you hold that for me?
I was going to say without planning, of course, put a lot of planning into
Green,
this.
white, and gold.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that,
Yeah.
but that's really wonderful. Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So So we'll take that
Was that put
away.
the flowers? Where are the flowers gone? Oh yeah.
Flowers
You
are
could
here.
squeeze them out through the muslin, couldn't you?
You could. We can do that now. I'll just give that a quick rinse. Okay.
So yeah, I was going to say, yeah, if we put the muslin on top.
And then we can put it through.
And then you can
we can
squeeze them?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Okay, go. Put that there.
Yeah.
We'll see how much more we get out of
Yeah,
it.
we might get some of that golden colour.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder what they use for
Oh, look at
fabric
that.
dye.
You are so right.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you could have left it boiling and soaking for longer. You can even leave it soaked the night before, but I wanted to show people the fresh flowers.
Yeah.
And that's why I did it the slightly faster way of boiling it. But you could leave it soak overnight.
Yeah.
And you'd get even more of a golden colour. There's some I did earlier. That's probably even more golden colour.
Yeah, well, we see, because we have to, before we get to what we did earlier.
I know we have to
We
work
have
with
to
what we
show
have
you
right
how to
now.
get there.
We can't be getting ahead of ourselves.
No.
Okay, so now we're going to just measure how much we have. That was why I was using this one here to.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I can pour it in here, can't I?
Yeah.
I'm steady enough for that. Haven't had any Guinness yet. Okay.
So how much we got?
Even for Patrick's Day. Now, 300 mils. Sorry, can you see that? Doesn't have to be absolutely exact, but 300 mils. But the reason we want to get, an estimation, more or less.
Because we're going to add sugar, right?
Correct.
Yeah. White sugar? What kind of sugar?
We're going to add brown sugar to make
Brown sugar.
it even more beautiful and golden.
Yeah.
You'll see now. So,
Light brown sugar?
light brown sugar. So a little under half
Half of what?
of the, what was it, 300 mils, wasn't it?
So if you had 500 mil, it would
150.
be 250
Exactly,
sugar? Okay.
exactly. So it's just a very easy way
So
of,
half of the quantity of...
a little under half. Yeah, I tend to err on the side of a little less sugar than more sugar, but it doesn't, again, well, it just depends on your own taste.
And what do we do
A
with that?
tiny bit of water in here, just mix it up.
Yeah.
Okay, and pour it in.
So what are we doing now? Are we making something, making syrup?
So we're making a syrup.
Okay.
Absolutely, very good. And now we have to turn the oven back on, or the hob back on again.
Yeah.
Do you think you're ready for this?
No.
No, okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all all part
very
of
complicated.
all part of the plan. It is. It took me a long time to figure out how to use that oven properly. So now we have bring back our lovely little spatula. It's my favorite kitchen tool. And just stir it to the sugar. We're going to let the sugar dissolve. Look at that, so
And are we going to let this boil?
golden and gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to let it boil down for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't
And
know.
what do we want it to get down, like half it, or like half the quantity of liquid, or?
We want it to be just a little bit syrupy.
Okay.
We'll pull it out and we'll see it be. I didn't measure it exactly. I wouldn't say it's half. I'd say it's like maybe 20% evaporates. That would be my educated guess.
And it's so healthy. I suppose if you stand over the steam, you'll get a facial as well.
Absolutely. Why we've got such glowing complexions. Now we're on to the pasta.
Okay, so meanwhile,
I don't know that we even have to show people how to cook.
Gosh, no, I think we better not.
We'll focus.
just hide the packet.
Focus on the gorse.
I just opened the
With
packet.
the salt in. Maybe that's okay. All right, pop it.
It's
Yeah.
pasta
So put in maybe
you made
half.
from scratch earlier.
Absolutely. So put in maybe 3/4 of that. I don't know if it needs the whole packet.
No, it's just a small. Well,
Yeah. Half. Yeah, let's pop it in.
there.
Lovely. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
more?
Another little bit.
Because we're feeding a family.
We're feeding a family, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Let it back up boiling.
Nice rustly paper.
Beautiful. So we'll just give that a little stir. Again, I'll stand corrected
And
if
now we
that's
have
not
a
the thing
debate
to do.
about whether it's got to be al dente and which is better. And
That's a good point. I usually have Alexa for the timer. I think that one's 13 minutes. Can we set a 10-minute timer?
really.
I usually tell
usually just
Alexa.
guess.
Do you just,
Yeah.
better not say that to the Italians.
I
don't know that we have-
and they test it.
We don't have any timers, but we'll be informed.
Okay.
We're going to go with your method of just getting a guess,
Looks ready.
getting a rough estimate. Okay, lovely. Now,
So this
okay,
is-
so that is just boiling away. We'll put our sugar away,
Yeah.
and then we're going to use oat cream, which they haven't. Flavins are an Irish brand which do produce oat milk. They haven't got out to oat cream, but I think they will, and then we'll be able to make it fully Irish. But for now, we have this Oatly one, which comes from Sweden, I think. They're doing lovely creams. So I wanted to make the ice cream as simple as possible. I wanted to just make it a really, really simple, lovely recipe. 2-ingredient recipe because we went to all the trouble with the syrup.
Yeah.
So now all we have to do.
I'm really interested.
Yeah, this is really, I really like this. This is so good. Okay, is we just put this in here.
Lovely and creamy.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Nice.
Absolutely. Oh, made a little bit of a strange noise there. Don't know what's going on with that cream, but that's okay. It's all good. It's all part of the plan. Okay, knock it in. And there we go.
And of course, oats are immensely healthy for you.
Very healthy. Yeah, very healthy. Very lovely, very
and
nice.
Like the gorse, it was a kind of a very important staple, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in Ireland. Yes, it would have been. And there it is, the lovely white. We do have the Irish flag going on there now, don't we? The green, white, and gold. It's for any, astute observer picking up on all of our subtle cues.
Yeah.
And there we go. We were nearly in the dark, but that's okay.
It's an SOS.
That's because it's getting.
The pasta is sending out an SOS.
It is. Saying, please, can we get some Italians in here to cook it properly?
Look after me.
I'm just being abused in the pot. I may have told my stories of going out with an Italian boyfriend before, and I said to him, oh, no, but we always soak the pasta the night before.
Oh, do you?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I just wanted to horrify him. He was horrified.
Yes, and it's horrifying.
It is horrifying, isn't it?
It's horrible. But you could soak oats the night before.
You could soak oats the night before. You could, and you could use that. You could make your own oat cream. Actually, that's the thing we could have done, but we didn't make the oat cream. We should have done that.
Maybe next time. Next time. Show people how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what are we waiting for? Just wait. Is this cold? It's cold.
So that is cold. So we're just waiting for this syrup, really, to get a little bit more syrupy. Yeah. We're waiting for our pasta to cook.
Yeah.
And we're waiting. We have our pesto. We could make a little dressing.
Oh,
maybe.
let's make a
dressing.
Let's make
some dressing while we're waiting for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get out our balsamic vinegar, and we have our olive oil here, and a little bit of mustard. So mustard, whole grain mustard.
Yeah,
lovely.
I just want to take a. Yeah, I can definitely tell that pasta's not ready. It's still hard.
You have all the instincts. All right. So, can you make a dressing? I remember I always thought a dressing was a very complicated thing to do.
Yeah.
And then I lived in France, and people said, I bought a dressing. I can't believe you bought a dressing. 5-year-old children, they said, can make dressing. Okay. Very embarrassed. Very embarrassed. So I had to go make my own dressing. So simple. Just some mustard, 1/3 vinegar. So, well, 1 part, I guess, and then 3 parts. 1 part vinegar, and then 3 parts oil.
Wow, is that it?
That's it.
It's amazing.
See, no wonder they were telling me that the 5-year-olds could make it. And I was buying expensive stuff from the shops.
And
that's it. And then you mix it up.
Because these are so fresh, that's not going to be heavy on them,
No.
And the beans, the little sprouts, the mung beans, they have a little bit of body as well.
They do. They do. They give it a little bit of protein. So nice. Okay, so that's our dressing. We believe that they will put that to the dress. We won't put it onto it already. Yeah, exactly.
Now this is boiling.
Now, meanwhile, I think this is looking lovely and syrupy. Oh yeah, this is so nice. Okay.
Yeah,
so
really hard.
Let's pour that out. Oh, we won't pour it into that one because that has the sugar. Although it might melt the sugar, but look, let's not take any chances. We'll get ourselves a nice fresh container.
Wow,
pour it
the
out.
colour is lovely.
Isn't that beautiful colour? Yeah. So nice. And do you want to have a little bit of taste? A little bit of taste test? Are we allowed to have our sweets before? Is that not the same pesto spoon, is it? Should we get a fresh spoon?
Well, it's clean.
Because
it's been in the pasta water.
Fair enough, it's been in the pasta water. That's okay then. That's okay. Sterilised by the pasta water.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that was hard to get out. That didn't work so well with me.
Is it nice?
With that, yeah. I'd probably boil it down for another little bit.
It's still quite watery.
It's still quite watery, yeah.
Do you have some you prepared earlier?
I do. Well, I have a whole ice cream that I prepared earlier.
Oh, that's really gorgeous.
But isn't it beautiful flavour?
Yum.
Isn't the flavour absolutely fabulous?
Yeah, it is.
So nice.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so do we have to wait for that to cool down before we add it to the...
We don't actually, but do we want to give it another little bit of a boil?
Yeah, I think we should.
How are we doing for time? 7:42. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. We're running a little bit tight on time. So we'll let it boil down for another bit. We'll give it another 3 minutes boiling.
Yeah.
And then we'll only put about half of it. Actually, what we could do we could take some of it out and then that'll boil down even faster because we only need about half of it.
And if you were using, you know, like, so wait a minute, so you're going to, this is going to be turned into ice cream.
So it's going to go into that.
Oh, okay.
We basically put the syrup into the oat cream, put it into a container, and put it in the freezer.
Oh.
And do you want to see, because obviously we couldn't leave it freeze forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
So do we want to see?
Well, I think that we should get the syrup in, and then by magic, it'll suddenly turn into ice cream. Somehow into ice cream.
I know, that'll be amazing.
Until we put the syrup in.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
So we're letting that. Yeah, we're letting the magic. There's a lot of steam. There's a lot of steamy windows. It's all steam now. So we are rushing this on a little bit just to make it lovely and caramely. The reduction of our syrup. Now look, it will still be beautiful. Even if we run out of time, we should maybe. Well, we started the gorse first. We did our best.
Yeah. But that's a real rolling boil, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's show that,
that's now. I might simmer it a little bit more if I had a little bit more time, but we are accelerating this a small bit just to get that sort of.
That'd be the sugar in it, wouldn't it?
Sure, yeah. Caramelized.
That'd be very, very, very hot, wouldn't it?
Thing going on. Oh, very hot.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't.
Careful, yeah.
Certainly wouldn't put your hand into that.
No.
Okay. Was that a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
lovely.
in television time.
Television time, that was an eternity. Okay, so that's a little bit better now. Syrup is gone down a little bit, and look, we can, because it's going to be so hot, it will melt the sugar. It's like the sugar in the tea, and then the extra bit of sugar helps to. And
if you condense that further into kind of very syrupy, would that be good or bad for the ice cream?
Oh, good, yeah, very good, yeah, more syrupy. Well, look, it's going to get frozen, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So we have 200 mils.
Oh yeah. Then what?
And then we're going to add it in here.
Okay, does the quantity matter to the quantity of?
I was just going to pull out the oat, lovely oat cream that I had. Oh, I probably thrown it away, did I? Yeah. I think that was like about 250 mils. So,
so how much of syrup do we add to the oat cream?
So about equal parts then.
Okay, so.
Or maybe a little bit. This is just a little less. It's like this, I probably would have reduced this a little bit more, but I feel like the clock is against us. We're like challenge Annika at this point.
Yeah.
You know, if we don't get out, if we don't produce something,
when you're doing it at home,
we're going to get in trouble.
Well, we're doing it in your home, but if you're doing it in your home, people that are watching, it's going to be half oat cream, half syrup.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love the way it doesn't split when you add the hot.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Syrup to the cream.
Do you want to?
That's really exciting.
Do you want to try a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
I suppose we can share the recipes too, can't we?
Yeah, we can. If people want to register, to send us an email to Casa, della Cultura, Irlandese @gmail.com, and we can send you your recipes.
Lovely.
By email, and we actually have it. If I show you here, there it is on the screen, and you can jot that down.
Suspense is killing me, Eve. I think you just did all that now while I was waiting to hear what you thought of the ice cream. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I just can't believe it.
How nice it is. But cardinal sin there of sticking your spoon back in again, but that's okay.
I did that on purpose because you'll have to give it to me to bring home.
That is very smart.
Yeah, fine.
Very smart. I like that. I'm used to children, so
Mine.
I have no fear of germs anymore. Yeah. Now, so we're going to get out the one we made earlier because I knew this was going to be an issue with the freezer. And so my lovely, lovely ice cream, here it is.
No, the thing is, that actually tastes like ice cream.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
2 ingredients.
Yeah. I think you should turn that off now.
How are we for the pasta?
I think you should turn off the pasta.
Can we check it?
On.
Off nice. Oh, that would impress any Italian I know.
I'll take it off the heat.
Do, yeah. So do you want to put it through the colander?
Yeah.
So we can drain it. We can't just leave it sit in water.
No, true.
That's definitely a no-no.
I'll do that while you get the ice cream ready.
And I'm going to show the ice cream.
Yeah.
So now I don't have an ice cream maker. So that's one. If you have an ice cream maker, you put it into an ice cream maker and you just make your ice cream that way. But what I do is I just freeze it like that. I'm going to test it now. And then, oh, that's lovely. Give it a few seconds to. Well, because I don't have an ice cream maker, it builds up some crystals. So what you can do before serving it, you're dying. Look, don't know that I'm going to give you any because, quite frankly, clean. Okay, fair enough.
So this is like if we had time, this the stuff that we just made.
Correct.
We just put it in the freezer.
Correct.
Take it out.
Take it out. Isn't that gorgeous? Now you can make it even creamier because it's crystallizing a little bit because I am not fancy enough to have an ice cream maker. So what I do is...
I can't believe it tastes like ice cream that people are used to eating from cows and stuff. You know,
it tastes
astonishing. Exactly the same as...
If only we could send it across.
What we have traditionally expected ice cream to be.
Yeah.
But this is so...
And isn't it wonderful?
So tasty.
And you know, I was experimenting with loads of different things. You can use cashew nuts, you can use coconut, you can use... I said, you know, I'm going to make this a 2-ingredient ice cream.
Yeah.
And isn't it fabulous?
It really is.
It doesn't need any more.
Because it kind of even tastes like, you know, the vanilla ice cream. But it has and there's no other flavours except what we put in.
Except the gorse. And isn't the gorse lovely? It's lovely vanilla. Yeah, it's almost like a vanilla essence. So this is my ice cream machine. Give it another little whisk. You don't really need to do it, but you'll see how beautiful it tastes once it's gone once around this machine. Now all we're going to do is eat ice cream because this is so beautiful. We're going to forget about the pesto and the pasta.
Yeah.
So just try a little bit there from the side.
Wow. And it's just you know, if you it's just like it's just like, as my kids would say, something you would buy from the shop. Isn't that gorgeous? It's actually the best ice cream I've had for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so creamy if you do this to it. Now this is an extra step. You could have just served it like we had, couldn't you? It was really nice.
Yeah.
But just because, you know, but look, if people have ice cream makers, they'll know the deal. The deal is the ice cream maker does the stirring for you and it stops the crystals from forming.
Yeah.
But we are...
And it's a lovely colour.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah.
So nice.
There's no
so put it back in here.
There's literally, that's
nothing.
It's literally this that we made earlier, like a minute ago.
It's the same
Frozen.
colour. See, people can believe that it is the same product.
And there's no preservatives.
No preservatives.
There's no animals
additives.
in it.
No, nothing.
No. There's nothing unpleasant in it.
Nothing. This is for your friends who don't eat dairy again. And would they know that it wasn't?
No.
No. You could give it to everybody.
Before you put the lid on.
Before you put the lid on.
Now, clean spoon.
Clean spoon. Oh. So because I'm a good parent, and I'm going to make everybody eat the pasta, pesto, and salad first. I'm going to blend it. We put this back in the freezer to keep it cold. It will come out again in a few minutes.
It's really, really, really is delicious. It's just, I think everybody should try that.
We should ask the children.
No,
we'll keep it all for ourselves.
Yeah.
They'd only eat it all.
Yeah.
So now to do
savoury.
So let's go. So pasta pesto.
Okay.
Do we want to put it into
a nice bowl?
A lovely bowl. Have we used up all our lovely bowls? We did. We used up the lovely bowl.
What about this bowl
to make
over here?
Our ice cream? It's a little bit of a small bowl, isn't it? But we could put the ice cream into.
You can put the ice cream into
a container to go. You're taking that with you. Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you here. We might. This is a very fancy container, so.
Oh, very fancy.
We may or may not let you go home with it, but we'll put it in for the purposes of illustration. Okay.
Lovely. I'll give that a quick
So that's gorgeous. Thank you so much. And there we go. That's Eve's ice cream to take home, and you don't have to worry about, again, when you're not using animal products, you don't have to worry so much about the salmonella and the freezing and the handling and all that kind of stuff. And now bring forward the bowl. So, gorgeous. Fabulous. So we'll dress the salad. Pronto.
Okay.
Presto pronto. Pesto presto pronto. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so nice. So professionally poured, just like an Italian. And we put in the pesto. And look at that. Oh, Eve. And then you have,
look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous? And then you have it with our salad. I sometimes mix them in. Is that wrong? Should I keep them separate?
Well, in this
keep
case,
them separate
we got a
because
little plate and we put
we'll put it separate. Okay, so put side by side. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So we get a little plate, and we have salad, and then afterwards we get the. I
don't know where the plates are.
That's okay.
But the fragrance again is fabulous, and again, it's just so nutritious and clean, and there's no grease, and
gorgeous.
It's just lovely. So
Are we allowed to eat a little bit? What happens now? Do people ask us questions while we're
oh
eating?
yeah, do we have any questions? We should have asked it
I think
earlier.
we've come to the end of our time now, haven't we? So thank
we
you all
have-
for going on this culinary journey with us. We feel like we want to forget about that now and just sit down and have our food.
Wait, let's show people like what it
Okay,
looks like.
right. So,
Because
oh yeah, you're all about the presentation. This is where the artistry comes in. I'm like, just throw it all together and
throw it on the plate and get out.
So thank you very much, Miriam and
Ignorant,
Eve, for presenting these sharing this lovely recipe. As an Italian myself, I must say that I'm positively impressed, especially by the pesto. It's something that I would like to try at home myself. And I've always been amazed by how much Irish people actually love pesto. So you're making it your own thing now. So I think it's something that you're taking over. And that's
are you offended or are you okay with that?
No. It's just make it international, like, you know.
You could use that beautiful plate too.
I was going to use this for the ice cream.
And yeah, so like if anybody in the public has in the audience has any question, like, you know, please step in. And
I'm very impressed with how patriotic your dish was. Was that you know, carefully curated, or
very, very carefully thought through.
a really patriotic dish, and so beautiful. I mean, just beautiful to look at. And I have to say compliments to Peter as well for the beautiful camera work. It's a feast for the eyes, and I imagine it tastes absolutely delicious. I am starving looking at you plating up.
I know. It's such a pity now we can't have everybody over to try some. You know, that would be the final piece of the puzzle. Look at that. We have the orange flower, the white.
Do you have some more orange flowers just to make like an Irish flag in the dish so we can take a picture?
Oh, look at that. Yeah. We got an Irish flower. We got the white. We'll put this two Irish flags, Irish flowers there.
Beautiful. Oh, what a work of art.
That's definitely that we had to use the nice plate, the good plate. It's like the good room.
Miriam, absolutely beautiful.
One good plate for the visitors.
I'm sure the rest of our guests are very inspired by both of you, by going out foraging. And, you know, I felt just like the last time, Miriam, you know, I felt like I was there with you. You know, it was just beautiful. It was visually beautiful, and I feel inspired by, you know, what you have shown us today. Truly, truly inspired. And
thank you
so much.
I can see that Kieran has a question as well.
Yeah, hi guys. It looks fantastic. Can I just ask you, in terms of the gorse syrup? Yes. Can you make that in a larger batch and keep it and just use it when you want to make a batch of ice cream? And how long would that keep for?
Oh, it would keep. Syrups are great. They keep forever. Anything that you put, you know, that much sugar into, it's like jam, you know, it's going to keep. Yeah, absolutely. It's like a cordial as well. You know, I've made tons of elderflower cordials, syrups, anything like that, you know, and they'll keep. I mean, look, we've always used them up before they've even had a chance to go off, but like they've definitely sat in cupboards and fridges for months and months and months. So yeah, and they're great as presents as well. People love cordial for presents. They love it. A syrup, gorse syrup, goes down so nicely.
Brilliant, thank you.
And apologies for my pronunciation of Irish name, Quivin.
Yeah, hi, how are things?
Hi, Quivin.
Thanks, Quivin here. Look, I thought it was fabulous as well. I really enjoyed that, and you know, I think you're both stars in the making. But I had a couple of questions, right? So my first one is, I'm just going to fire them out there, and then you answer them in whatever order you want. I suppose there's four things. So one is, can the gorse leaves, gorse petals, be used for any recipe? So that's the first thing. You're talking about gorse was a staple back in old Ireland or whatever. I'm really interested in that, and I know that I've often smelled the gorse up in Wicklow, and this is edible. And that's one question. The second question is like technical question is where would I get muslin cloth? Because I can see its utility there when you're squeezing out the petals, and I have no idea where I might find that. I've seen it for other recipes as well. That I don't know where to get it. And the third one is you used oat cream. Is it exactly the same for dairy cream if one wanted to go that road?
Yeah, I've never made it with dairy cream. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I just have one more, and that is that I've misidentified wild garlic all my life because down here in Cork where I am, it grows by the roadside, not under the trees, and it's got a white bulb, and I thought that was wild garlic, and certainly smells like garlic, and I foraged it a few times to use in salads or whatever, but it's not the same as what you showed me there. So I suppose I might be looking at a wild onion or something like that, but I'm asking, does the wild garlic you harvested have a bulb, and is that also usable, or is it just the leaf? So those are my questions.
Okay. I'll start with them back as we're going, just because I remember that. The wild garlic does have a bulb, and you could totally use it. You could have put that in as well. I just sort of took it out to show it, but you could use it. As I was saying, it's what has become, it was crossbred to become what we now know as the commercial garlic. So they just kept making the bulb bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, you can totally use the bulb as well. I don't encourage people to use it, because that means you've had to pull up the whole thing, and that was just an accident that one came up, because then the flower doesn't grow back. Whereas if you just take the leaf, you don't disrupt anything and it goes back. In terms of what you've been picking, I wonder, was it the three-corner leek? Because they are often mistaken. They both smell quite garlicky. I mean, we showed you the three-corner leek in the salad. So was it the longer one with the white flower? And then the garlic is the fatter leaf, but also has a white flower. So they're both kind of green and white. So a lot of people mix them up, but they're both very similar. So, it's fine. You can use them interchangeably.
I want to jump in. I don't want to say something stupid. I think like you can find even some useful apps on the phones with cameras that can tell you like the leaves or plants, because like it could be very dangerous, like to.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean that's why I like. There's an app called Picture This, and you have to pay for it, but it is very good and it's very reliable, and it does tell you what everything is. So yeah, anything I don't know, I go around and take a picture with Picture This and I check it. I mean that's why I do like to forage the alliums, because they're so obvious. There are other a variety of flowers called the umbellifers, and they're like the parsleys and the carrots, the wild parsleys, the wild carrots.
Yeah, Alexander's.
Yeah, but they can look very like hemlock, so you have to be careful. So they're ones that you have to be a little bit more cautious about. And like that, the three-corner leek can look like lily of the valley, but I presume you didn't pick lily of the valley, or you'd be dead by now. But lily of the valley actually doesn't tend to grow wild in Ireland. So you might see it cultivated in people's gardens. And I always say, if somebody's growing it in their garden, just watch out. Watch your back.
And speaking of that, to answer Queeving's question about the gorse,
very interesting question.
The whole plant can be used, and even though it's very prickly, and I remember reading in the 17th and 18th centuries in Ireland, it was a very important fodder crop, and there is records of yield. Farmers kept records of the yields, and the one way of when you're feeding it to animals, because the spikes on it is very, very prickly, and they had a machine like a type of a small thresher, and they'd put it through, and that would
grind it all
chop it up.
Yeah.
Now ponies have mouths which do eat the prickles off the tree. And what horses do, and this is something that they've actually, it's not inherited knowledge. Horses learn through practice that when they eat a bit of gorse bush, that they have to turn it around in their mouth. The piece they break off, and they swallow it going down. So the barbs,
the right way, you got to swallow it the right way.
Yeah, but that's something that's learned. It's not actually.
And the ones that don't learn it just have sore throats.
Yes, they just don't eat the gorse. But the whole plant is edible.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess people could eat it too. I mean, you could grind it up into a sort of a flour or powder. And I've never tried that. Like, as I said, we are very posh and fancy, so we only go for the flower. We keep, you know, we like the floral side of it. But you know, it would be very curious, all right, to have a go at, you know, seeing if you could turn it into powder and make some kind of bread or cake or something out of it. I don't know.
Well, I might try
it's
that.
an interesting challenge
I
for us for the
report
future.
that to you then in due course.
Yeah.
Last thing then was the muslin cloth. Where
the muslin cloth, yeah. Yeah, okay, so I think my husband has posted links to where to get the muslin cloth, because he actually bought the muslin cloth last time.
You can buy it in like a
You can-
haberdashery, a
yeah.
fabric shop. I've even bought it in artist supply shops.
Yeah.
So you could just ask. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, you can buy it. It's very easy to get.
You know, and you can use, I used to use J-cloths when I couldn't get my hands on muslin. So you just use a J-cloth and just squeeze it, it's the same sieve,
Yeah.
Any kind of cloth, really, even an old tea towel would nearly do, you know. It doesn't have to be so fancy.
Answered everything I had anyway.
Oh, good.
Thanks very
Lovely.
much. Thanks, Millie. All right.
Are there any more questions? Or are we?
Are we allowed to eat now? We have to start dying to lay into this.
Yes, indeed. I think you guys deserve to sit down and enjoy the fruits of your labor, because it looks absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. And I think we could all give you a big round of applause, a big bit of applause. Bravi.
You'll have to come over for dinner now sometime, you know. That's
Absolutely will. Absolutely will. And maybe Francesco, will you have the last word?
Yes, so thank you again, and let's do this again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
each different season has a new excitement.
And
yeah,
if people
everything
have,
is approved on the Italian side, I must say. I'm gonna come back with some questions if I don't find any of the ingredients like here around the embassy in Ireland, in Italy, sorry, in the Irish embassy. So thank you again, and well, hope to see you soon again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
Million.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you all
Bye.
so
Bye. Bye.
much. And thank you everybody.
Bye.